Welcome to part 2 of the Wild West Pygame series. Today we'll be making the character and providing him with left and right movement. So this is the code we left off with, so now it is time to add on to it. First of all, under the sounds array, I want to place an array that will store all the timers that we will be using. Since today we will be working on the character, I want to create a list that will store all of the attributes about the character as well. I also need to set the variable inside the timer to 0. So I'll do character equals and then square brackets. Inside the square brackets I will put 800 first. This will be the value of their health at the start of the game. Next I will put 8. This will be the number of bullets remaining in the gun. Following from here I put 820. This will be the starting value of the y coordinate, the x coordinate, and this will change as we move. The next is 7,440. This will be the y coordinate times by 10 to make gravity more consistent. And then we have 7,440 again. This will be the level of the flooring that we'll be using. Then we put r as the direction we will be facing in, and therefore we'll be facing in the right first. And then we set another value to 0. This is the velocity of the y coordinate of the character, so basically how fast they're moving up and down. And I finally put sprites 0, 2. This is the current skin the character is using. Now let's move down the code to window.blitz. Under this, I want to make a variable that will find out what key is being pressed. To do this, I'll put key equals and then pygame.key.get_pressed and then brackets. Now that we have a variable that will store the key that is being pressed, we'll use it to move. So I put an if statement if keys, then square brackets, pygame.k_ and then the key I'm going to be using. So for this first one, I'm going to be using D. So then we're going to go colon, and then inside of here, we want to make him change the direction first. So in here, I will change my direction attribute to right. So that'll be character 5 equals, and then R. So then we're moving right. Now I want to make the character move in that direction, so I'm going to be making the x coordinate go up. So I'm going to changing the x coordinate of the character by 7. So I do character 2 and then plus equals 7. Now it is time to use the timer. This time will determine which skin we'll be using when walking. So every time the timer resets, I want it to play a walking sound effect as well. So I put if timer 0 equals 1. I also want to check that the character is not in midair as well when this happens. So I check if the character is touching the floor with and character 3 is bigger than or equal to character 4. And that also character 3, which is going to of course be the y coordinate, and character 4 is the floor coordinate. We're going to want to do character 3 is smaller than, and then we're going to do in brackets character 4 plus 20. Just to give it a bit of leeway, but it shouldn't really affect it that much. It's just to make sure we don't miss the flooring. Then inside of here, I want to play the sound with sounds3.play, and therefore every single time the timer resets and the character is touching the floor, it will therefore play the sound that makes him seem like he's walking. We have got to the point now where if I move to the right, the character will play the walking sound effect and go to the right. So now we actually wanted to make the skin switch when we're walking. So to do this, so when the timer is in between 0 and 15, it will be the walking skin. So what I want to do is if timer 0 is in between 0 and 15, so that will be bigger than 0, and timer 0 is smaller than 15. I want to check what motion the character is in as well. So has he got the gun out, bringing it up, or is it by his side? So to do this, I look at the skin attribute and see what it is set to. So do the if statement. So we do the if statement in here. If character 7 equals, and then we're going to do sprites 0, 0 first. Then set character 7 to sprites 0, 3. So character 7 equals sprites 0, 3. So now I want to copy and paste this for the free states it can be in. So I'm going to quickly grab it and I'm going to copy and paste it in 3 times. So I'm going to go once, twice, and finally 3 times. So now I want to change the sprites used here to 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0, 2. So 0, 1, and 0, 2, and then the ones inside to 0, 3, 0, 4, and 0, 5. Now the walking animation is corresponding whatever the shooting phase is. So then we just need to make the timer reset as well. So if the timer is going to be bigger than 3, so than 30, then it will reset. So if timer 0 is bigger than 30, then the timer 0 will be set to, well, it will be set to 0. Now we've done that, to make it much easier, we can just copy this whole thing and then we'll paste it in again, and this time we'll use it for the left direction. So the first thing we need to do is change the key from D to A. And then they're pretty simple as well. Then the direction also needs to change from right to left. This is all pretty simple. So, and now to finish off moving left, just change all the sprites in the ifs to flip sprite. So flipped sprites. So just all of these inside that are being used inside of the if statements just need to be changed to the flipped versions of them. To switch back the skin when walking now, so outside of here I will check if the timer 0 is set to 15. So now we're going to go outside of here, and this is going to be so when we want to flip the skin back to standing from walking. So the first thing I want to do is check if the timer 0 is equal to 15. So it's going to go this will mean it will be going over the point where it should be showing the walking skin, and that should be showing the standing skin. I will also want to check if the current skin is walking as well. So I put timer equals 15, and then I'm going to put and character. Actually, I'm going to put in brackets just because you need to make because it could be either skin. It could be the flip version or the real version. So I'm going to do character 7 equals, and then I'm going to put sprites 0, 3, or it could character 7 could equal the flipped version of that, which would be the same thing, just equals sprites 0, 3, but this time I'm going to change the sprites here to the flipped version, so flip sprites. Then inside of here I want to change the skin to the standing version. So this is pretty simple. This will just be character 7 equals sprites 0, 0. And there we go. So now I want to copy and paste this in 3 times. And so this will also be for these different phases. And then I just want to change all of these. So I'll change the sprite and the flip sprites to 0, 4 and 0, 5, like so. and then also change the sprites inside of the if statements to 0, 0, 0, 1 and 0, 2. After this, I just want to make the timer go up, so I'm going to put timer 0 plus equals 1. So I'm going to put timer 0 plus equals 1, which means every single time the loop goes through, we will repeat it by 1. And we also want to make it so it repeats 50 times a second. So I'm just going to put down here clock.tick 50. For the final bit for today, we will also want to make the skins change to the direction we are facing. So first of all, I want to create an if statement that will check for the direction. So if character 5, so we're going to use character 5, and then if it equals, let's start with left. So we're going to start off with left, so then inside here, I create another if statement that will check the current sprite being used and switch it. So inside here we should do if character 7 equals sprite 07. So if character 7 equals sprite 00. And then inside of here, I want to put character 7 equals flip sprites. This was flip over the sprite because when it's facing left, we need the flip version of the sprite. Now that we've done this, I want to copy that whole thing and I'm going to paste it in 6 times. So that'll be once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and finally 6 times. And then I just want to change all of these to their corresponding ones. So we're going to do from 0, 0 all the way up to 0, 5. So I'm going to do 0, 1, then change this one here to 0, 1. This one will change to 0, 2. So therefore this one will change to 0, 2. 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 5, and then finally 0, 5. Now that I have finished, I'll copy everything and then paste it in one more time. This is so we can do it so we can save time and use this same way with the right direction. So we're going to change the L first to R, so to symbolize we're looking for when the character is facing right. And then what we need to do now is just change all of these variables. So sprites needs to change into flip sprites, and then normal sprite, and then flip sprites needs to change into sprites. Flipped sprites, and then this one normal sprites. And we're just going to keep on doing this and so on until we've basically completely reversed the other ones. We've completely reversed. It should be the exact opposite what will be happening. And this just so makes it so, just in case, this should make it so when we change the direction, it will find out this and then it will change. And onto the last one now, flip sprites, and then change that to sprites. And that is it. So now we need to place down the character. So under all of this, I'm just going to put window.blit again, and then character 7, and then in brackets, I want to put character 2, and then also last we want to get character 3, but make sure to divide that by 10 though, since we need to use the higher version to make gravity more accurate. So I'm going to divide it by 10, and therefore we will get window.blit character 7, character 2, character divided by character 3 divided by 10. So now that we've finished, we can run it. And when we do this, the Pygame window is brought up, which shows the character who will now move left and right. I hope you enjoyed following along to this video and that you learned something. Tune in next week where we'll be making gravity and allowing the characters to jump.